Hi, welcome to the Colorblind Architect Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Clayton, and again, I'm driving my car. I just find that that's a really nice, easy place for me to get some of my thoughts out. And so, here we are. We're driving again together. So, I just wonder how much the video shakes. I should probably actually look at these video clips. But, yeah, it's been a very peaceful weekend for me, and for many people, maybe they don't see the peace in the world, but sometimes I get a little taste of that. The nice thing that I got to enjoy this weekend was resting at home. I still worked while I was at home, but my daughter, who's at college right now, she came home, and we were able to just enjoy hanging out and having some fun. I think it's important for us to have family time. Everybody needs family time. It's part of what makes life enjoyable. So obviously, in the news, what do you got? You've got a big, huge kerfuffle always in the news. Right now, the big thing is conflicting information on Donald Trump's health status. And again, I don't understand how anybody doesn't see that this is all just clickbait. So much of what the news publishes, including, Donald Trump only paying $750 in taxes in 2016, which is such a laughable thing. But the New York Times publishes that a couple weeks ago, right? And they try to claim in the headline that that's all he paid. You read through the story, and later in the article, buried on page A17 or wherever they put it, I don't read the New York Times on paper, so I don't know how the page numbers work, but that's typically how the news does it. You put the sensational headline and first couple paragraphs on the cover page of the story. Then way down at the bottom of the story, buried behind a bunch of ads and a bunch of other fluff, is where they hide the truth. Now, why do they actually hide the truth in their own defamatory article? Well, that's liability protection. They're trying to protect themselves against getting sued for defamation. Now, you could say they probably aren't going to be sued for defamation anyways, so what? Well, again, they need to still be able to claim, no, we're the paper of record. So, here's the truth about the tax thing. Donald Trump owed $750 and paid $750 after he had already prepaid, tens of millions in taxes in 2016. This is according to the actual New York Times article itself. So in other words, the whole entire article was an absolute nothing burger. There was nothing there. Nothing of substance, nothing of interest, other than maybe the fact that he claimed $70,000 in haircut expenses as a business expense. Okay. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. I don't care. If he's spending $70,000 on haircuts a year, I feel like he's kind of getting ripped off. Whatever. But, maybe he has a favorite barber, and that favorite barber is costing him $5,000 a pop. I don't know. Seems kind of pricey to me. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe, this is because he was constantly on the campaign trail in 2016, and so he constantly needed to make sure his hair and makeup were done for all the television appearances. Maybe, just maybe, That was because it was actually a daily, possibly every other hour type of thing. So you actually have a beautician on staff, possibly, or just on a no bid contract. It's just a straight up contract for services, and that beautician is just going with him all the time. I don't know. But ultimately, the article was clickbait. And the same thing's true of all these articles that have been coming out about Donald Trump and his health, and there being conflicting information. So, as all of you know, he came down with COVID. And what's interesting is he seems fine. He even got on the camera and while in the hospital looked perfectly healthy. So the conflicting information is probably because of the fact that he is receiving treatments, but that probably has something to do with the fact that he's the president, and we want to make sure our president, no matter which president is well taken care of, that he's healthy, because he's the one with the nuclear football. He's the one with the nuclear codes. We need to make sure that the commander-in-chief is safe, so the military has their marching orders when they need it. You know, obviously, Mike Pence, the vice president, he can step in, great. But you know what? As much as I like Mike Pence, I think he's a good man. I don't want anything bad to happen to our president when he is in office. And that was regardless of who it was. I mean, I was not a fan of Barack Obama when he was president, but I never wished ill on him. And that's one of the things that always amazes me, is why on earth is it acceptable for the left to be calling for Trump to die from this? It seems kind of cruel, mean, horrible. So I did find it interesting, though. One person pointed out that, you know, if the left considers Donald Trump to be a fascist, then why are they sending their so-called thoughts and prayers for his speedy recovery? You realize really quickly that political expediency in American culture, it's seen as very cruel, inhumane to wish someone unwell when they're ill. So it's pretty obvious why they would do that, because they know that he's not actually a fascist. They know that he's not actually Orange Man bad, that they're just playing politics. They're playing politics because they want their person, they want their candidate in the White House, and so they're gonna talk trash as much as they can, but ultimately it's all just a game. The problem is there's a lot of useful idiots out there that don't realize that the political parties are playing a game, and so these useful idiots, and I say useful idiots as in these rioters, these Antifa types, or even Proud Boys, whatever groups are establishing themselves in order to kind of be a unofficial militia to defend their political side's point of view in a violent way. And this is not to say that I think that the Proud Boys are engaging in violence. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Most Antifa types are probably not engaging in violence, but enough are that it does look like it is a problem. So, yeah. that's, you know, you've got these useful idiots out there. They take this extreme controversy that's constantly being drawn up, this constant battle, this verbal war between the Democrats and the Republicans, and they take it seriously enough to the point where they're ready to go up in, you know, with arms to try to defend a point of view, instead of realizing that the